Yeah, the chair recognizes a member of the subcommittee, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Engel.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And let me just say, I find it incredible that some people want to blame the president, the same people who want smaller government and don't want the president to intervene against private industry are the same ones who say that the president should intervene and should somehow do something. I think tonight we'll hear the president saying a lot of important things, and we'll see that he is trying to do a great deal. Gentlemen, I want to read some quotes and ask you to comment on it that some of you made. Mr. Tillerson, in 2006, you said, and I'm quoting, "Industry has developed the technologies and acquired the experience to produce these resources safely and with a minimal environmental footprint." Mr. Mulva, in 2009, you said, and I quote, "Our industry, our company, we believe that we have the capability and the experience that we can develop these resources and not in any way really compromise safety and environmental performance." In 2005, David O'Reilly, who was then CEO of Chevron, told Congress that all of the offshore areas closed to oil drilling, quote, "can be developed with minimal environmental impacts." And Mr. McKay, in 2009, you told Congress, and I quote, "For those who continue to question the safety of offshore energy operations, I can only point to our record in the Gulf of Mexico." Gentlemen, if we can't believe what you said in those days, how can we believe anything you say now and anything you're going to say in the future? I mean, we were given assurances that everything would be fine. I know that accidents happen, but this is one hell of an accident. Why should we trust the industry to give us assurances when those assurances apparently mean nothing? I don't know. Anybody have an answer to any of the quotes?
Congressman, I stand by my statement with respect to ExxonMobil's performance.
Do you believe that industry has developed the technologies and acquired the experience to produce these resources safely and with a minimal environmental footprint?
When the standards and the processes and the procedures that have been developed by the industry are followed, that has been the case.
Well, how can we feel comfortable that that the processes and technologies will be followed? Obviously, it wasn't followed here.
You asking me or someone else?
Yeah, no, I'm asking you.
We didn't have the problem. I can't answer that.
Well, let me ask Mr. McKay. Perhaps he can answer that.
The tragic accident that has happened here, I think, is going to have a combination of factors, which are going to be decisional process and equipment. The investigations are exceptionally important to understand how that chronology works and what caused this accident. I do have confidence that we will understand what happened here. I do have strong confidence in that. I also believe that there will be improvements made because of those learnings such that the industry can get back to work. And I think that can happen pretty quickly.
Mr. McKay, let me ask you this. What really infuriates the American people, what infuriates me, is after the accident, every single day it seemed that BP was trying another technique, another method of trying to plug the hole. And each time it failed. It's mind-boggling for me or for anyone else to understand why there were not safeguards in place, technologies in place, modes of operation in place, so that if a disaster happened, you would know immediately what to do.
Unfortunately, this particular incident occurred where the lower marine riser package did not disconnect from the blowout preventer, so we have a package on top of that preventer. We had 4,300 feet of riser off the top of that, kinked, and the access to that to be able to do anything from the top on that blowout preventer has been prevented.
But that never occurred to anyone beforehand that might happen?
Not in that way. I don't think anyone could predict that. That package is supposed to release from that blowout preventer, and it has not.
Well, doesn't this mean that oil drilling is inherently risky?
There's risk, as was mentioned a few moments ago. There's risk in everything, but I do think the systems and the technology that is available to the industry and will be improved through the learnings here the resources, the important resources here can be developed.
Why are these disasters seeming to only happen in the U.S.? We had the Exxon Valdez 20 years ago, and now we have this. There's drilling all around the world, in the North Sea, all over. We don't hear about tragedies like this. Are the oil companies in the United States cutting corners?
No, I would say, unfortunately, there are tragedies around the world. Probably the worst rig disaster in history was in the North Sea. So unfortunately, these things happen around the world, and we have to improve from each and every one of them. And I think that's what the industry tries to do.
Well, so doesn't it prove my point that oil drilling is inherently risky? There could always be a disaster?
No, I don't think always. I think that the track record overall in the industry is very strong, but we have issues like we've had this tragic accident that we've got to learn from.
Well, I don't hear anybody saying drill baby drill anymore, and for good reason. I just think it's just absolutely ridiculous that this could happen and that there's no response that's satisfactory. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman's time has expired. We now turn and recognize a member of the full committee, the gentleman from New York, Mr. Weiner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. McKay, I wonder